Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Mr. T, and today we're going to be playing some Clash of Clans. So today, I want to be talking about something that is very important and that I have covered a little bit in my channel before, but I haven't really covered formally, and that is engineering. So engineering, for those of you that don't know, engineering is tailoring your account in some way, shape, or form to give yourself a war advantage, to give yourself a defensive or an offensive advantage. But we're going to talk about war engineering specifically. Now, this is in response to a post that Supercell posted about a week ago, the developer Q&A. And in this developer Q&A, Supercell was talking about clans, was talking about a few different questions that the community asked in the Supercell forums. You can look at the description below. I'm going to post a few other questions here. Some of them were related to clan chests, like Clash Royale being added to Clash of Clans. That was a huge question that I had and that I wish was added into the game at some point, but it's not going to be, at least not yet. Supercell does say they're working on a huge update, which, I mean, when they use words like that, I really hate that, but I'm not going to be one of those people that, you know, comments a million times asking about Supercell bringing out a bunch of updates that they said they were going to bring. It's fine, you know, they're a company that likes to say things like that to get some hype, but they also are not going to give you much. So that's what they're going to give you. Second question was, would you consider adding an option to copy a base? No, they're not going to. It's not in the radar at the moment because it's going to take some time to develop, and that's fine. Question number 4, well, will it be done in the near future to bring down hero regen time? Guys, if you're still complaining about hero regeneration times, just remember that about a year ago, heroes used to take 1 hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours to recover. Now they take about 15, 20, 25 minutes. So really, it's not that bad. I mean, I have almost level 30 heroes, and it takes my heroes about 25, almost 30 minutes to recover. That's nothing, all right? My laloonion takes about 30 minutes to cook anyway. It's fine, all right? Like, I remember when a P.E.K.K.A. used to take 45 minutes to cook, or a Golem used to take 45 minutes to cook, or a balloon would take 8 minutes. If you're still complaining about regeneration times or cook times for any troop, it's 2017, guys. Get over it. I mean, the training times are so much better now than they have ever been. And if you agree with me, please leave a like in this video. Leave a comment in the section below saying, haters, stop hating. Because for real, it's this is the best that it's ever been. In terms of cook times, in terms of playing style, like, the game is in a really good spot right now in so many ways. And I just want to say that. Anyway, I'm going to be attacking here. I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to get to engineering, but I got to do this live attack here. And we're going to be talking Roargasm from DZ MOBA. And we're going to go in from the top left side of this base here from 9 o'clock, about 10 o'clock-ish, away from this air sweeper. This air sweeper in the bottom does scare me a little bit, as well as this queen, but I'm not really going for the 3-star. I'm only going for a 2-star. There's a near max base. The X-bows are on ground. One of the Infernos is on single target. So this shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to bring my balloons here. Actually, my lava hounds way in the back here. And my balloons are going to create a nice funnel into the center of this base. We're going to go right in. Here we go. Minions coming in. And I've been trying to get better at saving a few minions here and there, but that's still something I am working on. I don't do a very good job at it, and I need to do better at saving a few minions at the end, for the end of my raids here, because there are plenty of times where I'm very, very close to getting a 2-star or a 3-star, and I just need a few more minions at the end to get those last couple of structures. So anyway, I'm kind of trying to talk and attack here, but that's very, very difficult, talking about something completely different and attacking here. But the real thing that I want to talk to you about today, I wanted to cover some of those questions because, I mean, some of those were really good questions. I think the 5th question was probably one of the most important ones, at least in 2017 right now. Something that a lot of people really care about is engineering. Class Tutor, Heather from Class Tutor, link in the description, posted a video a few weeks ago saying the end of engineering is nigh, and basically, like, engineering is almost all but over. I mean, that Supercell has made changes in the background to change engineering and to make it Pretty much unlikely for engineering to really be a thing in the near future. And I don't know about that, and I'm gonna cover why in the next couple of minutes. I don't want to spend too long on this subject, but I do want to cover what Supercell said about engineering. But before I do that, I'm gonna switch over to my Town Hall 9 account because I want to do a Town Hall 9 attack. I haven't done that in this channel in a while, and my mini is pretty much ready to go. It's almost maxed there, so let's go. All right, we are back to my Town Hall 9 account here. Whoa, my battery is running low. Lord Iron Swash. We're gonna go in and do a live attack in a second. But anyway, I want to cover what Supercell said about engineering bases or engineering bases and what they think about this subject. Now, in the past, people have accused Supercell of being silenced about engineering bases, almost to an annoying extent. How much people seem to care about this topic. I've already told you guys about in the past how I created an engineering account mainly for fun, and I ended up using it in war, and it was great. In a time where the algorithm in war was very, very, very different, and it was extremely easy as an engineering clan to exploit the war algorithm as pretty much a Town Hall 9 that was near the middle of the map as a Town Hall 7 or 8 weight almost. I mean, I absolutely destroyed things in war. It's just part of the reason why our clan got that 54 war win streak. Aside from the fact that we were pretty good, it was also the fact that, hey, you know, we had some great people, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I could come in and sweep the top of the map from the middle, which is pretty good. Anyway, Supercell, the question of Supercell was, does Supercell see lopsided bases as a fair and equitable playing style? And this is what Supercell said. Engineering is a heated topic and opinions about it in the community are divided. Are lopsided bases anything we can prevent? If we could, should we do drastic changes? Would players put up with strict restrictions on upgrades to mandate offense-defense balance? I'm gonna stop right there for 1 second. No, they would not. People will not put up with being restricted on how to play this game. One of Clash of Clans' core values, if we go back to what Supercell said a few months ago when they posted their core values to this game, what they believe when they are creating any new update or when they are developing this game, is diversity of play and freedom, essentially, for you to play your game as you want to play it. So will Supercell make any drastic changes and will players put up with it? Of course not, because that would change the game entirely. Yes, we can argue that there have been times that Supercell have changed the game when it comes to Town Hall sniping or when it comes to, I don't know, I mean, I don't know how many more changes they've done that have been kind of negatively impacted the community. I mean, they took out modding, which is a great thing, right? So I'm not really sure what other changes they've made to negatively impact the community. I mean, they've nerfed a few troops here and there, but have there been any game-breaking changes that they've made that has affected the game negatively? I don't know. I don't think so. And I think Town Hall sniping was a positive thing. So anyway. And we're gonna keep going here. Say we put in a restriction. Could the restrictions be balanced to be somewhat more lenient? Where will we draw the line? And if this is a complex line, would we need tools to help players manage their upgrades and understand the restrictions better? And the answer is yes. If you want players to, if you're going to restrict players in some way, that means the game is going to have to get more complicated. Again, going back to Supercell's core values, they want the game to be simple. They want the game to be extremely simple. They are not going to make a change into this game that is going to make it extremely difficult to play, because again, that is not what they set out to do when they designed this game at its core level. They are not going to make any changes. Whoa! What just happened? No! No, everything died! What is going on? No! No! Oh man, everything is dying. No! My phone just kind of turned on, my screen went off and everything is dying here. All right, let's see if we can somehow save this attack and not fail epically here. Oh man, my screen just turned off on me, guys, and this is crazy. If I somehow manage to get a 2-star on this attack, it's going to be ridiculous here. Oh man, it looks like I might be doing pretty good, actually. I'm definitely gonna get that Dark Elixir storage, but the question is, can I get a 2-star here, knowing that basically all of my balloons are down at this point, and I only have a few minions left in the core? Oh, no, it doesn't look like I'm gonna get the 2-star, but at least I got the 1-star. Oh man, that was crazy. My screen just completely turned off on me, guys. And as I was talking, I think I pressed a button on the side of my phone, and that was just nuts. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. I don't even know where I was a second ago. Could the restrictions be balanced to be somewhat more lenient? Where would we draw the line? Yes, you would need a lot more different tools. The game would not be simple anymore. It'd be very difficult to make new players, especially, I mean, we do have a lot of players from many different countries, from many different areas of the world, from many different walks of life. We cannot assume, from many different ages, we cannot assume that players are going to be able to understand these tools and still going to be able to play the game as well as they can play it right now. And I'm gonna keep reading here. Some cases cannot be prevented even with restrictions. For instance, thinking about launching a new troop, spell, defense, or extra buildings at lower town hall levels, doing balancing becomes very difficult as any bigger rebalance could allow people to break the restrictions. Yeah, I mean, any kind of balancing they do into this game is going to allow for some sort of exploit to be done. I mean, every single thing. When they made balloons better, to make war better, to make more diversity of play, people were complaining that balloons were OP, which I still do not think they are. By the way, balloons are excellent in farming, but in war, to 3-star with a balloon attack, you still have to plan out the attack pretty well, understand the troop pathing, and understand how to work the troop really well. It is not just a drop and go type of thing in war, especially at the higher town hall levels 10 and 11. If you have a good base design, it's not going to be very easy. So for anyone that says the balloons are OP, I've already proven the fact that they're not, and I've already talked about that in the past, and I did say that bases were going to catch up, and they have been. Anyway, gonna keep reading here. Without a restriction, what can we do? Keep in mind that we are already doing a lot. As mentioned in the previous depth Q&A, there's a huge amount of code behind the clan war matchmaking that specifically looks for lopsided bases and is designed to mitigate any unfair advantage they might have. This isn't always obvious to players because the war map is sorted by defense strength. However, attack strength is always taken into account. Always. And Clan War matchmaking does all it can to make sure the books are balanced overall from top to bottom of a war map, both in terms of attack and defense strength. Of course, we can always do better, and we will continue to improve this matchmaking very often. Now, this brings me to a point that I want to talk about. Is engineering's been around since the beginning of Clash of Clans, right? And engineering's a lot harder now than it has ever been. I mean, you have engineering clans getting matched up against each other. Swashbucklers 99 does have engineers, and we do get matched up pretty frequently with other engineering clans, and even when we don't, we get matched up with pretty tough opponents very often. A lot of times we get matched up with max Town Hall 10s even at the top of the map because their bottom of the map is a lot lighter than ours, or vice versa. If we have an engineer, like my main account in Swashbuckles 99 is Iron Swash the second right now. It's a Town Hall 9.5. It's a Town Hall 10, but 9.5, right? And it is an engineer account. And I match Town Hall 10s pretty consistently. Sometimes I don't, and sometimes we do have a relatively unfair advantage. Yeah. But there's many times, for every one of those times where we have a relatively easy war, we also do match other clans that are very good clans, and they have much more weight than us, especially at the Town Hall 9 level or the Town Hall 8 level, making it very difficult for us to get all the stars that we need to win. Even if we do have an offensive advantage, a lot of times we end up not having the defensive advantage. So I want to make that very clear. It is not cut and dry how easy this is. It is very difficult now, especially with the balances they have done in the past couple of months. We can't really prevent them without making extremely complex restrictions that will adversely impact some players and that would require a lot of time and development effort to do right. And even then, they might not even work that well in the long term. Instead, we try to improve our matchmaking algorithms to reduce unfair advantages from things like lopsided bases, and we will continue to do so regularly. So basically what Supercell is saying is engineering going to be something that they're going to ban? No. Engineering's been around since the beginning of Clash of Clans, even before wars. Engineering was something that you could do to your base to make it so that in the beginning, engineering was actually defensive base. You wanted to have a stronger base defensively, so that way you could have more of an advantage in farming and you wouldn't get absolutely destroyed. So you would upgrade your town hall level, upgrade your defenses, and make it so that you had those higher level town hall or structures like the infernal towers or whatever. You would hide infernal towers in your base. It's a lot more difficult to do that now, by the way. Infernals, Eagles, and the Grand Warden are extremely difficult to hide in an 8.55 or 9.55, a super engineered base. It's extremely difficult to do. So anyway, tips to give yourself a better advantage as an engineer. Let's say that you're an engineering clan and you want to give yourself a better advantage. Have a maxed version of the base that you're engineering at the top of your map. For example, if you're engineering an 8.5, so almost a Town Hall 9 level, max Town Hall 9 level, or a 9.5 even, make sure that you have a base near the top of your clan, or a few bases ideally, that are maxed versions of that base. For example, in Swashbucklers 99, we have my 9.5, but we also have a couple of maxed versions of Town Hall 9s near the top of our map that seem to outweigh, at least in my experience, seem to outweigh the attack advantage that I get. So we end up getting more Town Hall 9s on the top as opposed to a Town Hall 10, because I am usually not number 1 on the map. I'm more like number 4 or 5 or 6. So a lot of times it ends up being a little bit better. Try to keep your engineers away from the top of your map, but also don't put them all the way near the bottom either, because it seems like the war algorithm, when you have a Town Hall 11 all the way in, like, I don't know, number 26 or whatever in your clan, usually you're going to see that it is going to be very difficult for you to draw very even matchups, because it seems like the algorithm does take that into account. Guys, what I want to make, the point that I want to make in this video is that engineering isn't like modding. I mean, talking about modding is a whole nother video in itself, but engineering is fun, one, and two, it is something that has created a community of players that have been a positive impact into the game. I believe that by engineering, I've learned a lot about the higher Town Hall levels as I've been upgrading, and I've eventually caught up my base. I am not the type of engineer that wants to stay an engineer forever. I've usually caught my bases up eventually, because a lot of times when I engineer my base, I do so primarily for a war advantage near the beginning of a Town Hall upgrade. That's the main kind of engineering I believe that most people do. Most of the time, you don't see a Town Hall 11 with absolutely no defenses. You do see that at the higher levels, and you do see that in many clans. Fine, and granted, you do see that. However, it's becoming a lot more rare, and I don't think engineering will ever end, but I do think that the defenseless engineers will be a lot more difficult to have in the future based on the algorithm changes that Supercell is making. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below, and this is question number 3 for the common question of the day for this week. I am going to be posting the winner of the 1K sub giveaway tomorrow. Gonna be looking through all the comments and picking one at random from all 3 videos that I've made this week. This is your common question of the day. The common question of the day is, do you think that engineering is something that, actually, let me make it a little bit more close-ended than that. What do you think about engineering? What is your opinion about engineering and its impact on the game? That is your question for today, and that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want me to include more Town Hall 9 content, a little bit more Town Hall 10 content, let me know. I spoke to you in the last video about why I don't do a lot of different Town Hall 10 attacks. However, I do have my mini here, Town Hall 9. I could do a couple of different Town Hall 9 attacks with this account, especially air attacks, and I could show that on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is Mr. T. Peace out, guys.